Hi, my name is Diane Sweeney, and I am the author of Student-Centered Coaching, the Moves, and Leading Student-Centered Coaching. And I am going to share today with you the 3 stages we like to recommend for implementation of student-centered coaching. We figured that since we're all at the beginning of the school year, we're thinking about launching this work, we're thinking about building capacity with coaching throughout our schools, it would be helpful to understand the 3 stages that really take place in order to make this happen. So the first stage for implementing student-centered coaching, we like to call the pre-launch stage. And pre-launching is really a fancy word for studying. It means that all the stakeholders involved in the work get to know the coaching model, they get to know why it matters, they do some group understanding building so that there is a shared vision for what the work looks like. So this would involve district folks who are thinking about their role in supporting a coaching effort. It would involve principals who will be likely the on-the-ground folks that will be supporting the development and implementation in their schools, and it also involves the coaches themselves. So the pre-launch stage also may involve some systems and structures for the district. So it could mean that it's time to revamp the job description for coaches. It could also mean that it's time to look at who's in the coaching role and thinking about making sure that the right folks are in the role who are invested and wanting to do the very work that is being uncovered and studied. So a lot of the pre-launching stage is about building clarity and understanding around the work itself and around who will be doing the work. This can take 3 to 6 months. Some districts or schools we've worked with took even longer, and they involved themselves in studying all different kinds of models and then narrowed in on student-centered coaching as the one they wanted to implement. And also in the meantime, folks who are in coaching roles can definitely spend time building relationships, making sure that they're well situated in their schools. So the pre-launch stage is a powerful part of the process because it builds all stakeholders' understandings of what's to come. The second stage for implementing student-centered coaching we refer to as the launching stage. This is when the vision that has been created through the shared study that occurred in the pre-launch phase goes broad. It's when we bring in teachers into the conversation. We bring in maybe even the school board or other members of the community into the conversation. By now you have the right people in the coaching roles. By now you have a clear vision for coaching. You understand the purpose for why you're implementing it. You understand what the core practices look like. And the next step then is to launch or to engage others in the work. So at this stage, we like to recommend for coaches to work very closely with the principal in the school, and their role in this part of the process is to figure out how are you going to message coaching in a way that engages teachers authentically. So what are the expectations for participation? How do you expect that you'll provide teachers with just some choice and ownership over the work? How do you see yourselves as a school managing the coach's time and schedule? So there's a lot to consider when you're in the launching stage, and all of this ideally is worked out between the coach and the principal so that a shared and unified message can be articulated throughout the school community. At the same time, we have to think about the district role in the launching phase. So we like to recommend for the district leaders to be supportive and involved in this stage as well. So this could mean doing some professional learning with the team of principals on how to use their coach. It could mean a district could be getting very clear on instructional practices that they hope to see in their school so that when the principal and coach launch, they can relate the work to those instructional practices. An example of this is a school district I'm working with that's doing work on asset-based instruction. That's their focus for the school year. So the coach and principal in each school will be thinking about how does their work attach to that bigger district vision. So we don't want to leave out the district in the launching phase. When we launch, we also want to think about how do we actually day-to-day nuts and bolts monitor our impact. So coaches will be thinking about using tools like the results-based coaching tool as they get going with their coaching cycles. So setting themselves up for success in this regard is also a part of the launching stage. The third stage that we recommend when you're implementing student-centered coaching, we call implement, monitor, and adjust. So those three words really matter here. So we're implementing, we have coaching cycles going, we expect coaching cycles to be happening, and we expect coaches to be monitoring the impact of those coaching cycles in terms of how the teachers are growing and how the students are growing. So we have benchmarks that we like to set for how many coaching cycles are going by certain points in the year so that we can make sure deep, intentional, and measurable work is happening in our schools with regard to coaching. When we say monitor, we're thinking a lot about monitoring our impact, but also monitoring feedback and understanding from teachers how this is supporting them. So we like to see surveys happening, we like to see teacher voice in the mix, and we want to make sure that we are monitoring perception, growth, all different things that relate to implementation of coaching. We also want to be adjusting because we're always going to be learning as we do this work and making sure that the adjusting has to happen continuously. One format for adjusting and supporting this work is professional learning for coaches. A lot of times this is done through the district. A district person may be the person in charge, or it might be much more at the school level. But the idea here is that we're providing high quality professional development for teams of coaches. One of our favorite ways to do this is through coaching labs. And coaching labs are in-school protocol-based observations and debriefs of coaching work so that we can build our schema and our practices and our comfort with coaching practices that, the practices we recommend using throughout a coaching team in a very classroom and school-based way. When it comes to implementation of student-centered coaching, a rule of thumb is it's never going to be a one and done. You're never going to get to just tell everybody, now we have a coach and everything's going to work out from here and it's going to be great, because we know that it takes more support than that. And so a lot of the message here is that this is a team effort, that we have the district, the school leader, and the coaches working through each stage of implementation together so that everybody's on the same page and so that we get the most out of the coaching effort. I hope this was helpful, and if you need any support, just reach out to us at dianesweeney.com. Have a great day.